Let's go.
Welcome everyone! And we're dead! Cheer everyone!
It's because I'd pressed start instead of Pip-Boy button.
Yeah.
And they just double whammied me. Also, brilliant place to autosave.
Yeah. You'd think you couldn't autosave when confronting an enemy.
Hey,
It makes sense if you couldn't autosave whilst
one
an enemy was
advantage
about.
this has over Skyrim is that in Skyrim, when it's loading, there's actually lag, which prevents you from acting until a certain time after it's loaded. So enemies can actually, you can actually get like stuck in an infinite loop of death because it you quick saved or auto saved.
You know what? That really doesn't surprise me as Bethesda.
Break his kneecap. Oh.
So, how do you think the future of Bethesda is going to go after this whole Fallout 76 thing? With the, of course, them just revealing the title screen of Elder Scrolls 6 caused the entire audience to erupt into cheers, as well as them mentioning, we are working on a new game! Here's another title screen.
The space game could be interesting.
This is our version of Mass Effect Andromeda! Oh!
So we're going to the funhouse first. Then we're going to the tunnels, and we're leaving the theatre till last.
Okay, all of the same area?
Yeah, all this is in Kiddie Kingdom.
And there's 5 of these.
Yeah.
This DLC's huge.
Yeah. Kind of.
Because I know the first one, the Ada questline, isn't that big. Because it's a single questline.
It's technically a single questline, yeah, but it also added a lot in. I mean, it all added in like a decent amount.
Yeah, it added all the building mechanics and, the robot building, yeah.
Chained? Oh no.
But as in doing the DLC itself is quick.
So this place is pretty cool, to be honest.
Not that one. Let me guess, it's because Bethesda couldn't actually
I think that's
program.
just straight up transparent. Yeah, it's just a see-through.
I was going to say, Bethesda couldn't program your reflection.
Yeah, they're actually just glass. They're not mirrors. See? That one's even broken. Raises me to believe that I can break some of these. That's a mine.
Did you activate that with your bat through the door? What? That's miles away. What?
I think it was a chain reaction.
So let's see.
You know how I said this place was kind of cool?
Yeah. You find it super annoying?
It is kind of cool, but...
Super annoying?
Super annoying.
Who are you?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Oh, come on!
I can take the chef hat, though.
Good.
Pre-war
sure you're
money.
feeling... Why would someone store a duffler of pre-war money here? Were they thinking, yeah, this is where I'm going to store my safe house money? I'll surely survive the apocalypse in this fun house.
Well, they might have put here to come back at a later time.
After nukes have dropped.
Yeah, but remember, the nukes in the Fallout universe are like a gentle bit of sunlight. After a couple days, you can just kind of walk out and completely ignore the radiation.
Much like the citizens of Hiroshima did.
Yeah, as we all know.
That was devastating.
Yeah. Thousands, if not more than thousands, died. And it had lasting effects on the country for...
Many years.
Many years, and arguably still does. Maybe not physically, but psychologically.
It's why no Fallout game is allowed to have a nuke activation questline when in Japan.
Yes.
And why Fallout games have a really hard time being promoted in Japan.
Yeah, it really is kind of the antithesis of Japan, isn't it? It's like... America, the game where you get to nuke things.
If I recall,
And everywhere's evil except America.
If I recall correctly, although it's not huge, I believe,
Oh, this is one of my favourite.
and I may be thinking of a while back now. I believe that for a brief time, first-person shooters like Call of Duty did retain a bit of popularity in Japan. Although I think that was primarily through the esports scene.
Yeah.
Because there was apparently a lot of skilled Asian players online in first-person shooters.
Yeah.
But it's not something that they seem to like on a casual basis at all, which is why more single-player first-person shooter games I don't think are received as well. It's more of a multiplayer, on a esports experience for them.
How did the treadmills push me back when I'm jumping?
Are you sure you're supposed to go this way? Because it seems to be stopping you entirely.
Pretty sure you can make it.
What, through glitches, or...?
I don't remember. There'll be some other way around then, I guess. Vanilla! My god, be quiet!
Should I open the back door for him? I figured it was making the place too cold, but frankly it's not going to make any difference in this room. This room's pitch gosh darn freezing anyway. So should I open the back door for him?
You can do.
Good, and I'll have something to talk about when I come back.
Oh, wait.
Excuse me?
I think I saw... What? Oh my god. I get it. You want to take out the passive-aggressiveness on me or whatever. Can you just be quiet for like 5 minutes whilst I try and figure out your stupid little maze?
Yep, they seemed happier going outside.
Pretty sure there's like a button somewhere that does a thing.
Now,
Where's the map telling me to go?
a lot of the things I've saved up to talk about have been saved up for quite a while because I had so much to talk about before that I didn't get around to talking about a lot of them. Thought that was dogs barking for a second.
Probably was.
So my mind's a bit foggy. My memory's a bit foggy on some of them, but in terms of something to talk about, I believe I've mentioned it before. But do you remember?
Take back everything I said about this place being even remotely cool. I hate it all the time.
Do you remember Area in the Crawling Sea?
Yes.
And how the writer and the artist, they was originally were working together. They ended up splitting up for some reason in their collab project, and so they both went their separate ways, but they did continue on the Crawling Sea series, but they did it in two different ways. They both basically did series based off of it, but separate. It wasn't the Crawling Sea anymore, but the artist did Negative Frames, starring Arya and other characters that they created, because apparently the artist owned the characters. What? Okay. It just stopped.
Yeah, I just ran for it.
Oh, hello. Oswald the Outrageous.
Yeah.
Okay. And now it's just turned off.
Is that how you're supposed to do it?
Are you worried you've glitched out your game again?
A little, yeah.
But yeah, the Crawling Sea split off into sort of writer and artist, went their separate ways, and the artist made Negative Frames, which focused on a different character, but still had Arya appear in it as a important character to the story, because the artist is the one who owned the characters. The writer.
Oh no, you are supposed to just run past it.
The writer then got a new artist to help them out in working on a new project, done more in a manga form than a 4-coma comic form, like the original Arrow in the Crawler Sea was done. And they told their new story, Crawling Dreams.
Yeah.
And I actually recently discovered Crawling Dreams. I say recently, it was like, it's now not since back in November.
Oh.
Because they started uploading the chapters of it on Manga here.
Yeah.
I had to actually double check and remind myself that it was the writer, it was the artist who owned Aria, and not the writer.
How come?
Because, gosh, it's... From a writing perspective, it's so much weaker than Crawling City in negative frames.
Huh.
I think one of the big problems is main characters.
Yeah.
In, of course, the Crawling City, you had Aria and Gug as the main characters.
Yes.
If I were to describe the main character, who I think is something... I can't remember the main character's name, but if I was to describe her in Crawling Dreams, she's like, as well as her companion, who's also got, a tentacle... Well, got tentacles, but is now a small cat-like demon.
Yeah.
If I was to describe the characters, it's as if they took Gug's personality, added it to Aria, then took half of Aria's brain, and used that to fund a boob job for Aria.
Okay.
That's basically how I could describe it. Because, whereas Aria's very, though she isn't and never gets to see the full Lovecraftian horrors in the Crawling City, she is never portrayed as dumb in any sense.
Yeah.
She's smart and aware, but she and she's always suspicious of the goings on in the city.
Yeah.
But she never seems to ultimately end up noticing for various reasons. The key thing is subtlety. The world is a lot more subtle. It's sneaky.
Yeah.
In that one. There's always a dark undertone, but it's never... But it's so much more sinister because it's never quite as in your face. Like, the closest it gets to being in your face is the palette to it. All the darker colours used, and the lack of even a blue sky.
Yeah.
In, The Crawling Dreams, the reason the main character doesn't notice these things is because, gosh, he comes across as an idiot.
Yeah.
She's now the one who's really into video games.
Yeah. Instead of
Gug. Well, the demon in this case. I can't remember the name of the demon. All I know is that they're a cat who does turn into a monster.
Nice.
And as I said before, it's as if they took Gug's personality and gave it to Aria. In this case, if the demon is Gug, they took the demon's personality, gave it to the Aria stand-in, and then forgot to give the demon a personality.
Amazing.
He just doesn't have much of a character. He's protective like Gug was, and now, does kill a lot of the creatures and such who are targeting the heroine of the story, which the heroine doesn't notice, of course.
Yeah.
Even though, again, the big sort of problem with Crawling Dreams is it lacks the subtlety of Crawling City. It's like the monsters and everything, and the fact that the cat turns into a giant demon and kills a lot of the people targeting her is so much more obvious that it's like you'd have to be brain dead not to notice the goings-ons.
Yeah.
But she doesn't notice the going-ons because she doesn't have Aria's,
intelligence.
Yeah. And again, before Gug was wanted the video games and was, had him so much sort of character to him. Now, because they gave that trait to the Aria stand-in, the cat demon doesn't really have anything to define him aside from being protective.
It's making me kind of sick.
He just feels like he's there. He occasionally chips in. I mean, Crawling Dreams follows the story beats. Like, it's actually really fascinating in one sense, because you'll read chapters of Crawling City, and then read chapters of Crawling Dreams, and they're literally the same chapters, just starring different characters and done differently.
Yeah.
Like, there's the comment Aria has about how she's never seen a blue sky, sort of thing. And they have that exact line in Crawling Dreams. entire sequences are literally the same, but drawn differently and starring a different character.
He said his corpses just magically jump.
Yes, that was hilarious.
Can you guys stop shutting the door on me?
He was excited.
Oh, that means there's more than one. Dogs! Chill!
Dogs! What's the matter? Oh no. At this rate, I'm going to be shutting him away.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Penetrating gamma ray, but it already ignores enemies' armor. Ooh. That's exciting. This place is kind of weird. I just kind of forgot I was recording for a moment and I should probably actually commentate on it. One of these rooms should have... Oh. Well. Back at the beginning.
Question before I do so, but do you know if the heater's working?
The heater?
Heating. Sorry.
Heating?
Yeah.
I didn't know it wouldn't be working.
Because apparently... heck of it, I'll just turn it on and see what happens.
What? What was wrong with it?
Apparently the radios just weren't working last night.
Oh.
Yeah, well I'm turning it on because the dogs aren't going outside.
Truly, huh?
Because Mac peed in the hallway, right by the front door. I'm
Amazing.
assuming he did. I can't imagine it'd be the radiator leaking because the radiators haven't been on until just now, so the radiator couldn't have been leaking.
We could have got the mini heater down for them.
Yeah, speaking of which, putting that mini heater there was a bad idea.
Why?
Well, Zero ran for his cat tunnel and banged his head on it. You need to check later to make sure he didn't hurt himself too much. I mean, to be fair, he headbutts the door regularly, but...
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure if the cat was going to have concussion, he'd already have it. There should be a door somewhere in here.
But yeah,
Which,
ultimately, despite the Pororo being the artist for being the artist rather than the writer, Negative Frames was so much better written than Crawling Dreams.
been in there.
And it really does ultimately come to that whole case of
That was
subtlety.
a bit close.
The tone of it's a lot better. Like, for instance, you never knew what was up with the sort of business owner, the gentleman sort of character.
Oh, the guy that was clearly evil.
Yeah, but you never knew what he was doing, per se.
Being evil.
But they're so much more obvious with it in Crawling Dreams. They pretty much outright state kind of what he's doing, in a sense, in Crawling Dreams, because there's a whole basis where he comments that, people strive in life to be happy, because they have he has a whole dream sequence where he appears next to the main female character and just basically explains the plot, as it were.
Yeah.
And he kind of comments that, people strive in life to be happy. But happiness is just, in his case, is just an emotion that you can just trigger with a slight flip of the brain. So why not just switch on that part of the brain?
That's basically what we are doing.
No, but as in, just force it to be switched on. Rather than trying to be happy, just, sort of trigger something in the brain to just have it constantly switched on.
Yeah, that's boring. That's why. Wait, hold on, can I...
Which is why you get... I'm assuming which is why both in Crawling City and Crawling Dreams... okay.
That's all I wanted to do. You can carry on now.
You had the sort of the zombie-like state, them doing the work, but always having that grin on their face the entire time.
Yeah. Well, that was the fun house. I'm glad we've got almost a minute.
Did you find Oswald?
No. I'm glad we had almost a minute of me not talking whilst you were out the room, because I forgot I was recording.
Just throw up some funny pictures or something.
It's just me opening doors.
Gerard's empty drawers! Now it's time for Raph's empty doors!
Oh my god, Oswald, shut... That's Oswald, by the way, talking.
Yeah, I assume so. I thought Oswald was just a mannequin. Well, we're 20 minutes in.
Yeah, we should probably stop.
And maybe this next episode, we'll have an episode where there is no barking.
Ha! Good joke.
Here's hoping. Cheerio!
Toodaloo.